Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi. I'm so glad that you're joining me here for my half hour of me. It's lovely to have you. I am on my stage. It's actually my office, and everything next to me is in my office. My computer, my file cabinets, what's here? My office chair and all my paraphernalia. And it's a pretty tiny space. So, but I like it. Well, anyway, I lived in New York, and in my first apartment, when I wanted to go into the kitchen, I would have to wait for my roommate to come out because the kitchen was so tiny. Both of us couldn't be in there at the same time. As a matter of fact, we couldn't even fit the refrigerator in the kitchen because it was too tiny. I mean, the kitchen was too tiny, so we would put it around the corner in the next room. But anyway, tiny, as it turns out, is good because you know where everything is, right? Well, up until 6 months ago, I knew where everything was. But in the last couple of months, I've been losing things, and I've been kind of misplacing things. You know, my stapler, my Scotch tape dispenser, the mug that I was just drinking my coffee out of, my phone that I was just talking on. So I wonder, is this happening to all of us? I thought they were on the kitchen table, between the catalogs and that napkin that I'd planned to use again. I panicked and I ran into the bedroom. It was the start of my daily regimen. I searched through the bathroom and hallway. Perhaps they slipped from my pocket when I fed my birds. I dropped to the floor and looked sideways. Then I rose up and uttered these words. Where, oh, where did I put my keys? I know they're here somewhere. Will you help me, jeez? Us seniors have moments, they say, just like these. Oh, where are my keys? I once bought a purse with compartments galore. I couldn't remember which one I put my keys in, so the cops had to break down my door. Da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, they're there on the counter, but I still can't go far. Will someone tell me, where's my car? I once bought a purse with compartments galore. I couldn't remember which one I put my keys in, so the cops had to break down my door. Everybody. Da-da, 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 da-da. Oh, they're there on the counter, but I still can't go far. Will someone tell me, Where's my car? Oh, Jesus, where's my car? Thank you so much. It's nice to know that other people have the same problems that I've been having. I would like you to say hello to my band. This is the plastic, oh no, we're in the radio band. Well, you know, we can't have people who are not in our immediate family in our homes. And so my band's in here. That would be Chad Watson, Brad Swanson, J.T. Thomas, and Eddie Hedges, and special guests like the Vincent sisters, Pam and Joyce, who just did the harmony with me on the song you just heard. So let's hear it again for the band. Thank you, I think. All righty. Oops. Okay then. Excuse me, I just have to check something out. Okay. Oh, okay. I just had to make sure that my door was locked so my cat wouldn't get in here and disturb us. You know, when I was little, I never had a pet. You know, when I was growing up, no pets. And I kind of realized that we weren't going to have pets when two things happened. When I was 3 years old, the woman who lived 2 houses up the street from me got a beagle, a dog, and named it Judy. It was awful. My mother never spoke to the woman again, and they lived 2 houses away from each other for 25 years. And then I recall my sister, my brother, and I, you know, talking about maybe getting a pet, you know, to my mom. And after this little teeny discussion, my mother basically ended the discussion by saying, "And who's the one who's going to end up taking care of this animal?" Okay, so didn't have a pet. But my daughter, Cora, wanted a pet in the worst way. Dog, cat, whatever. And this is what she would do. I would go to the grocery store and pull out my list of things that I had to buy, and on it 5-year-old Cora wrote dog in capital letters, capital D, capital O, capital G, right next to all the things that I was going to buy. Milk, dog. Lucky Charms, dog. Well, it turns out Cora was allergic to dogs and cats and a lot of other things. So we did what families do when their kids are allergic to those animals. We got a hamster. And Cora and I came home from Petco with the hamster, the cage, the wheel, the ball that you put the hamster in to run around on the floor, and the food. Oh, it was fantastic. 6 days later, Cora woke up and found the hamster dead in the cage. Dead. Stiff. Legs sticking up. It was awful. Well, did you know that when you buy a hamster from Petco, they give you this little box so you can put the hamster in it and bring the hamster home? And when we had checked out, the cashier looked at me and said, "You know, keep that box. Don't throw it away, because if anything happens to the hamster, anything, bring the hamster back in the box and you'll get another one." Of course, I'm like, I'm so dumb about pets. I didn't even know what she meant. Anything? What do you mean by anything? Well, Cora and I put the hamster, the dead hamster, in the box, took our receipt and went back to Petco. And we saw the same cashier. And when we told her what happened, oh, she looked at Cora and she was all weepy, you know. And she said to Cora, "Oh, honey, which one is this?" And then she opened the lid, looked inside, looked at Cora and said, "Oh, the cute one." Ah! What kind of training do they do at Petco with their employees? Is this some kind of sick Petco joke? Well, it took a good half hour for Cora to calm down. But she picked out another hamster, brought that hamster home. 16 days later, dead in the cage, dead, stiff, legs sticking up. We had a funeral for the hamster and buried the hamster in our backyard. A couple of months go by, and one day Cora comes up to me and says, Mommy, I think I'm ready to get another hamster. But not from Petco. So we brought hamster number 3 home. And that's the day my life changed. There was a time when I'd say fine when you asked me of my life. My job was swell, my kid was great, and I was a good man's wife. But since our first 2 hamsters bit the dust, my intuition I don't trust. I spend my time concerned about number 3. My answer now has surely changed. Priorities been rearranged, and so I say the following to thee. Listen up, the whole world's swinging, 'cause we're singing the hamster melody. The hamster didn't die today. He didn't breathe his last and go away. We didn't wait to find him stiff like his predecessors Joe and Biff. The hamster didn't die today. No, the hamster that we have has not died. He hasn't met his final end. He hasn't cried. He hasn't pooped his final poop. Hasn't succumbed to the croup. The hamster that we have hasn't died. You'll never feel a love that is real till you see your little hammy spinning on his wheel. A hamster hasn't fought the fun. He hasn't hung himself or set off an alarm. He hasn't met dear old St. Peter. Time's not run out on his meter. A hamster hasn't brought the fun. No, a hamster today did not expire. He didn't bite the dust or greet the heavenly choir. He didn't meet his just reward. No tire blew out on his Ford. A hamster today did not expire. Our pet hamster did not pass away. We didn't gather in a church and kneel and pray. For him there was no R.I.P. The bell didn't toll for him. Our pet hamster did not pass away. Our furry little critter didn't die. We didn't put a little penny on his eye. The big fat lady did not sing. No pretty flowers did we bring. Our furry little critter didn't die. You'll never feel a love that is real till you see your little hammy spinning, 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 spinning. You know the little guy is grinning. The hamster that we love is still alive. No gasping creature that we needed to revive. No reason for a paramedic. No teary-eyed hamster headache. His theme song's gonna be I Will Survive. The hamster that we love is still alive. The hamster didn't die today. No, he didn't die today. All right. Oh! Okay. And that's the story of Hammy and Cora and me and everybody. Okay, I grew up with a mom who thought that the only way to do anything, there was only one way to do anything, and that one way was her way. I would take a plane to New Jersey, stay there for a few days with my mom, and on that Sunday, I would drive her to church. And, you know, I haven't been there for years, but I know how to go to church. Anyway, I would turn down a street different from the one that she had always turned down for 50 years. And she would have a conniption. What's the matter with you? We don't go this way. We don't go this way. You don't do that. When I lived in New York, I'd take the Port Authority bus to New Jersey to see her. And one night, we were making dinner. And she said, Jude, make the salad. So in my house, making the salad means you go into the fridge, you pull out the iceberg lettuce, you wash it, and you tear it into little pieces. You throw it in a bowl, throw other things in with it, and that's it. Well, having lived in New York and having eaten at a lot of different restaurants, they were serving iceberg lettuce then, and it wasn't in little pieces. It was in big pieces, and I loved that idea, and that's how I did it. So when I put it in the bowl, the phone rang. I ran to the living room to answer it. It was a wrong number. And I got back to the kitchen, and in that moment I was gone. My mother had retorn all the pieces into teeny tiny bite-sized pieces. What's the matter with you? We don't eat lettuce like that. That's not how you do that. Whew. My mom taught me how to clean. And the rule in cleaning was you take the white rag and you would dust and clean all the stuff that's on top of the furniture. And by that stuff, I mean the family photos in frames and the vases with the artificial flowers, things like that. And then you would take the oily rag, spray Pledge on it, and then wipe down the furniture, and then spray Pledge on the furniture, and then wipe it and wipe it and wipe it until it gleamed. That was fine. I had to do the same thing upstairs too, but that was my favorite. Because when I was upstairs, I would turn on the radio in one of the bedrooms, and I would blast it. And I would clean the sink and the toilet and the bathtub, and I'd be singing at the top of my lungs, and my mother didn't hear me. She was down 2 flights down. She was down the cellar doing a wash, which, if you don't understand New Jersey-ese, means my mother was in the basement doing a load of laundry. Well, anyway, one Saturday, I'm kneeling next to the bathtub, cleaning the tub and singing at the top of my lungs. And everything was so loud that I didn't realize that my mother had come upstairs, and she had been standing there in the doorway watching me until she yelled out, "What are you doing? You don't clean the bathtub like that!" Ooh. And in my mind, I went through the steps. 1, you wet the tub. 2, you sprinkle the comet. 3, you take a sponge and scrub. 4, you rinse. I was on step 3, scrubbing with a sponge. I looked at her and she said again, "You don't do it like that." And she knelt down next to me, grabbed the sponge from me, and she started scrubbing in circles. The same thing I was doing. But her circles were left to right. And my circles were right to left. Her circles, left to right. My circles, right to left. And some of y'all wonder how I get my ideas. You dry my tears till I'm serene. My life's a slate. You wipe it clean. When I don't shine, you make me glow. You're the best cleaner-upper that I know. My day could start so cloudy, then you come. You wash away all the streaks and gone. it's not right if without you's how I start. You're my own personal formula for a run. When I'm feeling slightly grimy, you make me shine. You take my tarnish off and make me feel so fine. You're my own personal formula for a night. When I feel blue, you make me bright. You brush the cobwebs off my life. You bring a sparkle to my cheek. And when you rub me the right way, I squeak. When I feel hurt, my feelings you soothe. You scour my heart edge and make it smooth. You cleanse my soul the moment you're near. You're in my dreams and you make them clear. You're my own personal formula for a night. When I'm feeling slightly grimy, you make me shine. You take my tarnish off and make me feel so fine. You're my own personal formula. My own personal formula. You're my own personal formula for a night. Okay. Well, alrighty then. I'm just so happy you could all be here with me today, and I'm so happy that my band is here. Because if they weren't here, I would just sing by myself. No accompaniment, a cappella. Like I did one time in Co-op City, New York. Anybody know Co-op City? Let me tell you about Co-op City. It's this ginormous housing development in the Bronx. And it's on a piece of land between two highways, Route 95 and the Hutchinson River Parkway. There are 35 high-rises and 15,372 apartments. Well, I was doing a Christmas show called Plums in New York City, in Soho. And it was a musical comedy thing. Original music, original comedy, a little bit of dancing. And I was really excited to do it because I had this incredible solo, this heart-wrenching Christmas ballad. You know, I made the audience cry. It was really something. But Co-op City called and said, hey, we'll pay you to come out here and do your show. So, hey, a paid gig. We went to Co-op City. We got there on a freezing day in December. It was 9 degrees with wind chill of probably 24 below. And everything in Co-op City was gray. The sky was gray. The buildings were gray. The cement was gray. The dirt was gray. The audience was gray. We performed in an all-purpose room. You know, those large rooms, they have a sliding divider on one end, and they put a couple hundred folding chairs there, and they made a stage out of platforms. And I was on stage about 20 seconds to go in this bit in which I was sitting on Santa Claus's lap. I was really looking forward to the next thing because that was my solo. Yay! And I happened to look out, and I saw these two ladies rolling the piano away from the stage up the aisle. Ah! And I I jumped off Santa's lap and I went to the edge of the stage and I screamed, "Hey, where are you going with the piano?" And they stopped and one lady yelled back, "We need it in the other room." And as they were turning the corner to go out, all I yelled was, "Well, can you give me an E above middle C?" So in order to celebrate the upcoming Christmas season and remember that day, I'm going to sing my latest Christmas song for you. And listen for the E. Okay, here we go. Christmas comes but once a year, and I'm finding it increasingly hard. Decorating a 9-foot Norwegian pine and hanging lights across my whole front yard. My husband's dead, my kids moved out. It's a different kind of holiday. I've reevaluated decor I've accumulated, and I've decided to celebrate another way. This year I'm downsizing Christmas. I bought a 13-inch tree. This year I'm downsizing Christmas. Happy tabletop Christmas from me. The 600 some odd ornaments I used to keep garaged have gone the way of the Salvation Army. Even the special ones I decoupaged. There are now only 12 teeny weeny balls on the tree, but what's it matter? They're all brand new. They're stuck on with glue. To put a star on top, I don't need to climb a ladder. This year I'm downsizing Christmas. I bought a 13-inch tree. This year I'm downsizing Christmas. Happy tabletop Christmas from me. Remember stringing lights across a 10-foot tree, and then you turn them on, and one string doesn't work? That really bit. But when you buy your little tree at Walmart, the tree comes pre-lit. Tap break. This year I'm downsizing Christmas. I bought a 13-inch tree. This year I'm downsizing Christmas. Happy tabletop Christmas from me. Happy tabletop, the lights will never blow. Happy tabletop, some come with snow. Happy tabletop Christmas from me. Hey, you know we have time for one more song? But before I do that, I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me. I know you're from all the way across the country. Some in Rhode Island, New York. My Rhode Island Tri-D sisters, my basketball moms. I got my Far West people. But I'd like to thank a few people before I finish. I'd like to thank Jeanette Lundgren, MomHen's Nest, for putting this all together and making sure I did the show. I would like to thank my band, especially Chad Watson, for being here with me with all the other guys. I'd like to thank Carrie Patrick Clark, David G. Smith, and Ken Dunn for helping me with Facebook Live and all the stuff that entails. Oh, and I'd like to really thank my sound engineer, the incredible Cora of Cora and the Hamster, Cora Calasuno, my daughter, and my ring light wrangler, Mike Calasuno. I wrote this song because we're all living in a new normal. And here we go. And thank you to Steve Bauman for the trumpet. I'm feeling cooped up in my place, afraid I'll have to face another day without another human being. I'm feeling cooped up in my place. I got a lot of space, but alone just ain't no good for my well-being. I'm not good for anything when I'm alone. My window shades are open. I'm gazing and I'm hoping someone looks inside and sees me, waves, or calls me on the phone. No one's walking on the street. I hear no sounds of feet skipping happily on sidewalks out my door. No one's walking on the street. Wait a second, that's a tweet. Birds are singing and I wanna hear some more. I'm stepping outside to hear those birdies cheep. Songs loud and clear, no traffic near. I shall take the lead. I'm back, cooped up in my place. A lady punched me in the face. She was sitting on the stoop, so I sat too. I'm back in my place. She called me a disgrace. Stay 6 feet away from me, and I from you. So I'm back in my place, just like before. Instructed in this instance to keep a social distance. I vow to never venture out my front door anymore. I'm cooped up in my place. I'm back cooped up in my place. I'm cooped up in my place, afraid to interface. I'm cooped up in my place, back in my place. I'm cooped up in my place. I think that's my time. I would like all of you, though, to be very safe when you go outside. Thanks for joining me. But when you go outside, remember to wear your mask the right way. Okay? Don't wear your mask under your nose. And if you need something to remember to do that by, just think of how my mom would tell you about wearing your mask. I think she might say, What are you doing? You don't wear your mask like that. What are you doing? Put it on the right way. So here we go. Thank you. Bye.